Hello. Welcome to Wugong Boxing, the Rule of Three, the intro to the Rule of Three. What we're going to go over today is we're going to go over Gracie versus Shamrock 2. I have it pulled up here on the screen, and we're going to go back to the beginning. Now, a little bit about this fight. This is early UFC. I think this is UFC number 5. And so, we're on UFC 300 something now. It's been years. So this is early on. Gracie is still wearing his jiu-jitsu gi in the ring, which is really interesting. And and then you'll see Shamrock in his wrestling Greco-Roman style speedo. He's a striker as well, more so a striker than Gracie. But they're both fighters, and they have different styles and all that. But what we're going to look at is rhythm and timing and what the rule of three is. Now, on the first page, we saw the definition of the rule of three. People tend to react to the rule to things in threes. That's why they use it in ad campaigns, and they use it in try to create a catchy slogan. It's a really good method to create an emotional response out of people. So, how can we use this in fighting? Well, let's take a look. So, in this fight, there's only two interactions when they're actually standing. There's only two. And it's in the beginning and then at the very end of the fight because they end up on the ground for 37 minutes straight, just rolling. They're incredibly tired after, and they go into overtime, and they end up getting stood up in the overtime, and then they do the same thing, like they started a new fight. And in both of these interactions, the rule of three is present in several different layers. There's several different layers of it in this. So just like in the previous description where it talks about, it applies in sentences, right? It applies in paragraphs and themes. Like it gets bigger, and also it presents itself in ideas. So it's not just, for example, if I were to apply it in fighting, it's not just throwing a jab, and then a big right hand. A 1-1-2. It's not just that. That's just one level. It's not just doing something three times in a row, three right hands in a row, right? That's a very base definition and how people were assuming it was, but it's not that. What it is understanding how things affect people so you can read their tempo. So in this first clip, I'm gonna press play and we're gonna watch them when they approach each other at zone 3, which is jab range. If you've seen my other stuff. At zone 3, they're going to begin the fight at the same time. They both begin on the same tempo, and we'll see what happens from there. So I'll press play, we'll watch the whole thing, and then I'll go through and point some things out.
Can Wayne Shamrock close Gracie? Our first ever super fight in the UFC. And here we go. Speedo for Shamrock. Gi for Gracie. Shamrock, striker, grappler. Gracie, renowned grappler. That just missed.
Okay, they're on the ground. He got a takedown, right? Shamrock scored a takedown here. Now, this is where I ask my students, what did you see? What did you see? What happened in the beginning? What was the very first thing that happened, right? The very first thing that happened is they said go, and they both met in the middle. And neither of them rushed the other. That's the first thing that happened, okay? Neither of them rushed on the other. Look, they both stop in the middle, right? Shamrock maybe takes a baby step forward, but he's also on the lookout for something. Now from here, Gracie decides to be first. Now this is the first of 3 interactions. So let's put that on the side, okay? Number 1, first interaction here, okay? Now is the first thing. First thing that happened in the interaction is he threw a jab, right? It's a little kick to the knee, right? A little leg kick. But we call it a jab because he's not really committing. He's trying to get something out of him. So that's essentially a jab. Okay. He jabs again. Kind of a feint a little bit, And then he goes for a big kick. That was 3 things. So he did jab, jab, and then a body kick. He teeps him. That's big, right? Now, if we're watching, Shamrock hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything at all. So his rhythm right now is very slow. He's trying to really feel him out. Also, you can kind of see if you look at Shamrock's his look at him. He's like yeah, okay. You trying to speed up. I can keep up because remember he's a wrestler. Wrestlers generally have very explosive styles and techniques, so they go from doing nothing to doing something real quick. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so this is our second interaction. We've begun our second interaction, and there was a jab. There's a jab here, and then Shamrock is going to do something. It's super small. Let's see if you see it. Ooh, right there. Super, super small. I don't know if you guys saw that. Super, super small. He dips down just a little bit, right? I'll rewind it a little bit, and let's see if we can catch it this time, okay? That's the jab. That's the third hit, okay? Now he's going to do another jab. Boom. Watch. 2. So the first thing was the jab. Now the second thing, now in their second interaction, Ken Shamrock has decided to participate. He has decided to participate and start to up his rhythm. So he goes second. So the second thing, the first thing was Gracie's, the second thing was Shamrock's. And the third thing was also Shamrock's. So now I can see that somebody's rhythm is speeding up. Something's speeding up. Okay, so he does a big right hand and tries to counter him, and Gracie backed off. That just missed. Now that was a takedown, and that was the third interaction. After the big right hand, immediately after, what happened? Big right hand. Shamrock, striker, grappler, Gracie, renowned grappler. Okay, there's a feint and then a right hand, right? A little body feint and then a right hand. So look, he backs up and then he does something right in the middle of the ring. Right here, he bounces. Boom. That's one small thing. He's ready. This is also the third of the interactions. This is the third time that they broke off and came back together. They came back together in the first. They came together in the beginning. He teeped him. Then they came together again. Shamrock responds with an overhand. It came together again, and now we see that somebody continues to accelerate. Shamrock, his intention is to accelerate. That's what we see. Like it's very, very obvious. Like every time you do something, he starts to go faster and faster. Right? He does the jab, right? The leg kick. That's the second thing. The big thing is the takedown. In the third interaction is 1, 2, and 3. Correct? So I want to take a look at that. Go back a little bit. All right. So that's 1. There's a feint. That's 2, 3. Big. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now we can kind of see, what is he thinking? What is he trying to do? Obviously, he's trying to get a good position. And takedowns, I mean, that's the number one thing that wrestlers do, right? They take you down and they get a top, strong, dominant position and pin you to the floor. That's the whole point of wrestling. So now. Don't believe me? Let's see. Part 2. This is the second interaction between them. Look, they're sweaty. They're tired. Look, he's tired. He's pooped. All right? They're sweaty and tired. And then they just said go. So let's see this interaction. Hold on. I got to go forward a little bit because I think this one reset. There we go. Okay, right here. All right, so you see Shamrock's moving forward. He's like, I got to stay dominant, stay in the center. Remember, this is 30 minutes. This is after 30 minutes of grappling. So he wants to make sure he has the advantage. That's 1. Right? He goes ahead and goes for the teep again. Oh, sounds like a repeat, right?
5-minute OT underway. Come on, baby, let's go. A restart.
Now, believe it or not, that is two. That is two. And this is what I mean. The rule of three is not just throwing attacks. It's that things happen. Anything happens. It can be two small things, and usually there's a big change. Usually, right? So him putting his hands up in a guard, guess what? That counts as a thing. Cause watch what happens next.
In the super fight. Now this changes it.
He goes for a slide. He goes to try to slap him and hit him. And of course, another thing is looking at Shamrock's reaction. He tried to counter him. So they're on the same rhythm right now. They're on the same rhythm. They both did a big thing, and Gracie backed off. So let's see what happens here.
Everything here. This changes everything here. They're back on their feet. Anything can happen here. Both these guys like to be.
It's a little bit different. So this time, Gracie goes for the takedown. Gracie goes for the takedown, and he gets it. And it wasn't very clean. And you look, he ends up on the bottom position anyway, but he locked with both overarm hooks. Um, I'm not an expert with grappling, but I am an expert with timing and understanding interactions. Just fighting interactions and how people think or why, not necessarily why, but what tempo they're on and when they're going to do something. So you see something here, and then you see another thing. All right, something's about to happen. Here we go. Right? Oh, it was a counter. So Shamrock's looking for a counter. So him staying slow, this third one, guess what? Gracie decides to say, I'm going to accelerate this time. In the beginning, you accelerated. And now I need to make sure I win this fight because we're at the end of it. It's in overtime now. So he's like, all right, I'll go because I know he's going to accelerate. This is very, very intelligent from Gracie. He says, I'll go first. I know he's going to accelerate, and then I'll be there first. I'll jump ahead of him. Right? 1, 2, 3. The jab with the kick, the teep is the jab, and then the counter from Shamrock is number 2, and then number 3 is the takedown from Gracie, which he halfway gets. Right? He defended it, but he got some overhooks over here, and he got his legs in. Does he go for spider? I don't know. I don't even think I recorded the whole video of that. So I had to screen record this because this is actually not available on YouTube in my region. So I had to screen record it. But I got it, and I wanted to show you guys this in the Ken Shamrock versus Gracie fight. So this is just understanding, being able to recognize it. We still haven't talked about how to use it and how to further recognize it on other levels. Now, we recognized it on 1, 2, 3 level, right? It's just a jab, me and you. And just to review, right? Think about it like this. In the first one, it was just Gracie. And the second one, both people participated in the rule of in the 3 actions. And then in the third one, it was Gracie using what he, using the other person's reaction against him. So that's already, a couple of levels, but there's more. There's more on this. So we'll continue our film study with another video.